Welcome to 49ers After Dark. We're your hosts, Grant Cohn, Jessie Naylor. Make sure to subscribe to Jessie Naylor's channel, Last Second Sports, and to watch his show after this show because the party don't stop. It goes from the Marriott, no, from the club to the Marriott. I forget the exact order of operations, but anyway, we got a lot to talk about today. We're going to get to whether the Niners should start Jimmy Garoppolo with the sprained thumb or Trey Lance with his 2 career starts, but we're not going to start there. We're going to talk about why the 49ers find themselves in a must-win game, essentially, assuming the Saints win. How did the 49ers get here, considering they have a roster that they deemed Super Bowl worthy?
There's a lot of different directions we can go, Grant, but I was just looking through the schedule out of curiosity, and the NFL is about winning close games, especially when you're playing against good teams. When you get to the playoffs, those games are going to be close. They're 2-5 in games decided by 7 points or less, Grant.
Oof.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
You look at those games, their inability to win games that are close have really been their bugaboo all season long. No consistency there. They blow out teams, they get blown out, but anytime it's been tight, 7 of those games, they have not been able to execute on a regular basis. And you look at teams in the past, 49er teams in the past that have been successful, they win those tight games. And those tight games are ultimately what make or break a season. It's hard to win in the league regardless of who you're playing. It started out good because they beat Philly in that first game that was super tight, but after that, it's kind of fallen apart on them. So I'm going to go with the inability to win those close games.
I'm with you. I totally agree. Let's examine. Let's take a deep dive into the stat you just presented. So they lost to Green Bay. No shame in that. It's Aaron Rodgers. It happens. He's done that to a lot of people. You lost to Green Bay. That's what are they? The 1 seed, the 2 seed right now?
1 seed, yeah.
The 1 seed. Okay, you lost to the 1 seed. What were the other close games?
They lost to Seattle.
We're gonna come back. I think we're gonna come back to Seattle. Let's come back to that. No, so you lost to Tennessee. All right, that was hard, and it really, really stung. But Tennessee's a really good team. That's a playoff team. You lost to Arizona twice. That's a really good team. That's a playoff team. To me, I love your stat. To me, though, I'm just gonna go with losing to Seattle twice. You lost. You should have swept Seattle. At minimum, split. That team sucks. That's the clinical term for what they are. They're terrible. They're not a playoff team. You should be. That team has nothing going for them at all other than Russell, like a disinterested Russell Wilson and a 75-year-old Pete Carroll. Like, you should have beaten them once. And in the first one, you just totally gave it away for no reason. And the second one, you were there at the goal line. You had it. And you let Carlos Dunlap knock down the last pass. That's why you're in this predicament, because you couldn't beat Seattle, who, look at their record. A lot of people have beaten Seattle. The NFL has
everybody else
on Seattle. They have run a train on Seattle. Don't look that up if you're younger than 25. But I'm just saying, you couldn't beat Seattle. That's on you. That's on you. I get you lost to Arizona, even with Colt McCoy. That's a good team. That's a good-ass team. Seattle? Nah. Seattle sucks. You lost because you gave up, a fake punt. That's on you. That's on you.
That's 2 of those games, by the way. That's 2 of those games right there. So, yeah, Seattle's a big one. Arizona. And really, the tiebreaker, the reason they're losing the tiebreaker is because of those in-division games. So, yeah, those games were huge, and they were all close.
Yeah, I mean, there's no shame to losing to Tennessee, even though they were down. I mean, it was cross-country. It was a Thursday night game. There is definitely shame in losing to Seattle. They suck. I'm sorry. It's not what they used to be. You should have picked on them, and I think, outgained them both times. You beat yourself against Seattle twice. That's your fault. And there's consequences.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just crazy to think about all the close games that they've had throughout the season, how they've shot themselves in the foot repeatedly. They just can't figure it out, man. And good teams figure it out.
And so so you couldn't beat the worst team in your division in 2 tries. So now go beat the best team. That's where you're at. If you could have just beat the worst team in your division once, you had 2 tries. Once, you wouldn't be in this situation, but you couldn't. So now you got to go beat the Rams. And you've beaten them 5 times in a row. But Niner fans, they'd be lying if they said they weren't a little apprehensive and a little scared right now, right? They'd be lying.
Well, yeah. Okay. So how weird is that, right? Like, let's say they beat the Rams. You're 2-0 against the best team and 0-2 against the worst
I
team. It's
know.
like, just take care of business.
No, I know. Because I think the Niners essentially feel like the Rams are soft and that they just match up well because they're not soft. Debo's not soft. Kittle's not soft. It's not really, I mean, they're kind of a tough team. So maybe it's a good matchup. We'll dive into it. But yeah, that's why they're here, because they couldn't beat freaking Seattle. Luis, thank you very much. King Logan says, finally able to catch a live show. Love the content and keep up the great work, guys. Go Niners. Thank you, King.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I like calling people King. Thank you, King. Start Trey. It's not hard. Love that. Says McVay is confident Cam Akers will make his return to the field this week against the 49ers. What impact, if any, do you think he'll have? Man, that's a big unknown. How could we honestly say that one?
Yeah, I personally wouldn't expect a big impact. I mean, he's coming off of an Achilles tear. It's not, what is it, 6 months removed from an Achilles tear?
Yeah, like,
explosion. I can't.
5 carries, that'd be great.
Right. That's kind of where I'm at. 5 to 6 touches, maybe.
That'd be great. Yeah. All right, let's move on. So look, everyone's talking about the quarterbacks right now because it's a quarterback-driven league and the Niners don't know which one they're going to start, or they're not saying. But the Niners are not a quarterback-driven team. They're not a quarterback-driven offense. They're a running back-driven offense. And, I mean, I think that's how the Shanahans have been since 1995. They won 2 Super Bowls. Mike won 2 Super Bowls with Elway, but that was a Terrell Davis-driven offense. It was, if you remember back in the day. Anyway, he didn't practice on Wednesday. That kind of flew under the radar. Everyone's talking, Jimmy's back. Oh my God, Jimmy's back. But Elijah Mitchell was hurt and didn't practice. And that often happens. He has this great game. No one says anything, but on Wednesday, they're like, oh, by the way, BT Dub, Elijah's not playing. He's not practicing today. It's like, to me, he destroyed the Rams earlier in the season. And he's very good. And it seems to me that instead of giving him 21 carries and Jeff Wilson Jr., what was it, 0, 1, 0? Maybe you could have split. It was the Texans. Couldn't you have split that up? I'm going on a little bit of a rant here, but like the fact that he's hurt again, I feel it's like, boom, you overworked him again, and he's hurt again. And this is the injury that's going to hurt you. Jimmy, Trey, to me, you're a running back centric offense, and you got your guy hurt against the Texans. It was unnecessary. Couldn't they have split carries? I don't know. I don't have a question. I don't have a topic. What do you think? Take it where you want to go. You can disagree with me.
No, I completely agree with you. In fact, going into that game, I remember specifically talking, I don't think it was here, but specifically talking about how I wanted to see Mitchell get no more than 17 touches. It wasn't just the carries. He got receptions in that game as well. And it's an interesting turn that Shanahan has made this year. Every single year in the past, he's kind of done this running back by committee, run the hot hand. Everybody's getting spelled. Any player could go off at any week. But lately, especially with Mitchell, for whatever reason, it's like, you're playing 25 touches minimum. Like, dude, that's what
every
he
time
did.
Mitchell plays, it's like he's got a vendetta against Elijah Mitchell. It's like, oh, right. you're active. 30 touches. What is that, man? He's so important to this team. I feel like he's so important to this team because of how they're built, but like he's not that much better than Jeff Wilson Jr. They could both play. Come on, Kyle. And when you wear one out, it hurts the whole team. Coach, split the carries. When he was at his best in Atlanta, He was splitting carries with Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman. When did he? Why? What about Elijah Mitchell has told him that he needs to give him 23 carries a game? Like every time you do that, he's not there the next week. He was just coming off a 3-week absence, and you're like, YOLO, here's 21 carries. Come on, man. It's Houston. It's Houston. You could have beat them handing the ball off to JaMychal Hasty. I think that's a bad decision by Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, that's just it, right? Like you not only, I mean, you talked about Hasty, you talked about Wilson, you talked about Mitchell, but Sermon was available too if they wanted to play him. They had the guys to run. Debo, just everything all in. It's just the whole thing's weird to me. It doesn't make any sense. And you're right. I mean, that's one thing Mitchell has shown. He needs a week off after he goes crazy in a week. And it's just the way it's been. And now in the most important game of the season, he may or may not play. Like,
it's unfathomable. And it's like you almost feel like if you had Debo and Mitchell healthy 100% against the Rams, you could almost argue that it doesn't matter which quarterback plays. It's a good matchup. You win by running the ball. But if Mitchell doesn't play, really, you let that happen? I mean, we talked about why the Niners are where they are right now. Because they wore Mitchell into the ground. It was totally unnecessary. Look at his game logs. When he plays, it's almost like masochistic. Like, what do you I'm just saying.
Well, it's funny because I did a film review and I remember doing it and I go, one play, Wilson comes in and he's like the fullback, the blocking fullback. He misses a block on the outside for Debo and I go, oh, I didn't even know Jeff Wilson played. There he is. And then that was it. I don't remember him playing the rest of the game.
He was your entire run game the last month. And then Mitchell comes back and you don't trust him at all. Dude. And what is the consequence? He's hurt. He's more hurt right now than Jimmy. Because Jimmy was limited today. Elijah was not. He was totally inactive. And that's like, the headline is, Jimmy's back. What do the Niners do? And the footnote is, Elijah Mitchell didn't practice. Like, actually, the headline should be, Elijah Mitchell didn't practice. And it may not matter which quarterback the Niners choose to play. It's a big deal. And again, it's Kyle's decision making. You didn't need to give 21 carries to Elijah Mitchell to beat Houston. You didn't. Why are you where you are? Because you gave 21 carries to Elijah Mitchell coming off an injury against Houston. That's why.
My hope is that you can't give a rookie a quote unquote vet day. And the way that Shanahan worded it, he said, Elijah Mitchell didn't practice today. I think we labeled it like a knee or something.
I think we labeled it. Well, thank you. It could have been any number of things. We just
yeah.
He's like at 11 injuries right now is essentially what he said. Yeah, that's the whole point, Kyle. Would you leave him alone? Like, that's enough. That's enough, Kyle.
Mitchell's getting 40 touches on Sunday.
True Sav Comedy says Trey looks like a guy playing Patrick Mahomes in a biopic of Alex Smith. Only a true Sav who specializes in comedy would say something like that. Macdonald says, don't see how Kyle can go back to Jimmy after seeing Trey get in a rhythm. The best option for this team now in the future is Trey. 2 seconds for Jimmy? Only if it come with a Z at the end of seconds.
Yeah. If that's in the proposal, I'm taking it. Smack Jones. That's a great name, too.
Ain't get no seconds. SZ. Ain't get no seconds for Jimmy. Are you kidding? No. Even though he dropped a hard F today at the press. That was hilarious. I'm so glad I got that out of him. I was like, everybody's writing about that, Grant, by the way. Like, if you just search 49ers or Jimmy Garoppolo, it's like every story, it effing hurts. Great question. Oh, yeah. Because everyone was asking him these medical questions like he knows. Like, he doesn't know. He can't even turn left. He's Derek Zoolander. But I just wanted to know how it feels. It must hurt. And he was like, it fucking hurts. I respect that. I really like Jimmy Garoppolo. I feel like I like Jimmy. I do like Jimmy. I think that's the kind of guy that he's charming. He's quite charming, and he's one of the 30 best quarterbacks in the world. What should he have to apologize for? Nothing. I respect him. I really do respect Jimmy Garoppolo. At the same time, I'd replace him. Both things are true. Both things are true. I respect.
Yeah,
him.
absolutely,
Like,
and I agree. Again, Jimmy didn't sign himself to the
nah,
contract that he's in.
I
Jimmy
would
didn't
have done
spend all that
exactly what he
capital
did.
on Trey.
Yeah.
Jimmy didn't not go with Tom Brady when he was available, right? Like Jimmy didn't do any of these things.
No.
I agree. He needs
seems
to
like
be
a stand-up
replaced.
guy. He seems like a stand-up guy. I like Jimmy, but he can't be my quarterback.
Not my quarterback.
Not my quarterback. Sean says Trey under center utilized jet sweep RPOs while Debo in pre-snap motion. Rams might overcommit to Debo. Trey brings that threat that Jimmy can't. I'd like to see the Niners use Debo as something more than a ball carrier when he's in the backfield. Because right now, every time he's in the backfield, it's like, well, he's getting
so obvious.
Well, it's super duper obvious. So yeah, that's a little free suggestion, Kyle. 49ers daddy says, yo, Grant and Jesse, did you hear that Jimmy's thumb is fucking hurting? Trey is starting. Who? You both agree? Well, we're going to talk about that. We're not going to get there right away. Hey, Grant, love the channel. Thank you, Booey. I think the only way the 49ers lose the Rams is if they give up huge PI penalties on those Matt Stafford long passes. What do you think? There's a lot of ways the Niners could lose this game, man. Yeah. I think there's a lot of ways the Niners could lose this game.
But I agree. I think 49er fans are very confident. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. Speculate on the SF secondary availability. That's our next topic. Bear with us, Tobin. There's a couple more questions. Banana Hands is a serious personal issue with under 2 minutes in the fourth quarter up 23-7. He has Trey running a read option in between the tackles. Why was Trey in? Yeah, like he also had Debo running between tackles. He had Elijah Mitchell running like his 20th and 21st carry. Do you not care at all? At all? Are you just going to use the injury excuse when it's like your fault? Like, hell, use your depth, please. Please.
He doesn't learn. He really doesn't learn. Like, that's how Debo's gotten hurt multiple times, is by being in when he shouldn't be in.
Okay, so yesterday it was Dante Johnson, K'Wan Williams, Jimmy Ward on the COVID list. Today it was Ambry Thomas and Diamador Lenore. I guess it's not surprising because I guess something happened in that DB room, but damn, it's the whole DB room except for Emmanuel Mosley, who's coming off a month layoff and is not yet even activated off IR. Josh Norman, who's terrible. Jaquaski Tart, who's good. That's their secondary. So these guys could all come back. They could all come back this Sunday, but it's significant that most of them won't practice. Mosley will. Norman will. Tart will. Most of them won't practice, and they've got to defend Beckham and Cup. That ain't good.
I can't wait for Darqueze Dennard and Josh Norman to start at corner. Yeah, I'm looking super forward to it.
I love Darqueze Dennard when he was coming out of Michigan State.
Me too. I really did.
I really did like him. But yeah. That seems to me like, again, we're building up to the quarterback issue, but if the Niners lose this game, it's going to be because Elijah Mitchell got worn out against Houston. And the entire Niners defensive backfield missed practice this week. Those are bigger issues than do you start the guy with 2 starts or the dude whose UCL ligament is literally torn? I mean, that's not a good decision. Neither one's really fit to play this game. But they're not a quarterback-driven team. You're a running back-driven team, and your running back is hurt. And you're totally vulnerable at a very important position called cornerback.
Yeah, absolutely. And Diamador Lenore is for sure not playing because he was added today. So he is out. There is no chance of him playing. You've already got K1 possibly out.
Not that he's going to play either way, but I mean, he's depth.
Well, but he could have. If K1's not going to play, then he was the guy, right? Like he would be the nickel corner.
Yeah.
So do we want to talk about R2? Is that a separate topic or do we want to do that now?
Talk about what?
The 2 guys that we would prefer to play. Like if we
let's
all the guys.
fold that into this.
Okay, perfect. So the way that I see it is out of all the guys that are sitting in COVID protocol right now, there's two guys that are most important. Jimmy Ward, clearly, like
Yeah.
he owns Matt Stafford. He's in his head mentally on your show, talked all the trash in the world.
He can also cover Cup in the slot. That's a big deal. Because
Yes.
Cup is, I mean, no one else can cover Cup apparently.
No.
In the league. Yeah.
He's
I don't
almost
know,
uncoverable.
K1 can't really cover any. I don't know. K1's a good blitzer, though. A good blitzer.
He is.
He's
and for me, K1 is the other one because there is no Diamador Lenore. And I mean, yes, Jimmy Ward could play nickel, but then what if Afunga doesn't play? Who are you running back at safety? Or, so there's a lot of moving parts. To me, those are the two most important. I think they could roll as long as Mosley plays. They could roll with Mosley and Norman. It's not ideal by any means, but I think it's better to roll with that.
I disagree with that. I think they need Ambry. No, I don't trust. Fuck that. I don't trust Josh Norman. I don't trust him at all. I'm sorry.
I don't either.
No.
But what's the alternative at nickel?
Ambry. No, I'm with you. But I think that, and I know you said that's like a kind of an arbitrary 2-player parameter. But I'm saying I'm with you. Yes. I don't disagree. But I would have to say, you would have to agree that Ambry is just as important as K1. Like, come on, like it's actually 3. They need all 3.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. Ambry Thomas is extremely important, and Ambry Thomas is playing good football right now. Like that's just what it is. Ambry Thomas is a good football player.
Better than Norman.
Yes, if that's the alternative, yes.
All right, so we're gonna get into Jimmy Trey. Last preamble. Before we get into the specifics of what the Niners should do, let's just talk about what's at stake. If they lose this freaking game, because kids are watching, if they lose this freaking game,
I'm glad 5 F-bombs in you decided to change it. Now kids are watching. We've talked about running train and F-bombs 5 times over.
Sorry. If the 49ers lose this game, is this season a wasted season?
Okay. It depends on who plays on Sunday. If Jimmy plays on Sunday, yeah, it was.
No. It's a simpler answer. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. If the answer is yes, and it doesn't matter if Trey Lance starts and loses, that's because he didn't start earlier. That's because he was unprepared for the moment. If Jimmy Garoppolo starts and loses, it's because he was freaking hurt again. No, this team is, if they miss the playoffs, they're the most talented team that misses the playoffs. From coaching staff to roster, it's inexcusable. It is a wasted season. Either the Jimmy Garoppolo plan should have worked, or you should have gone with Trey Lance the entire time. Because I feel like if you had started Trey Lance week 1, they'd make the playoffs. But they did this, and it was unfair to Trey. I mean, it's totally unfair. Is it not? To say, Trey, we told you all fucking year that you weren't ready in August, in September, in October, in November. You're not ready. Then in January, we're like, psych, save our season, please. Please save our season. We were just kidding. We love you. Please save our season. Like, that's not fair. It's his 3rd career start. What if he has a bad game? Jimmy has bad games. What if it's just not his week, Jesse? I mean, I don't really expect that. I think he's up for it. But I mean, really, what if he's just not ready? There's a reason teams don't want rookies starting playoff games. It's a playoff game. Honestly, it's not fair to him. So it is a wasted season if they lose this game, and Kyle better find a way to win it. I just want to say that I'm quite encouraged by how the offense looked with him and Trey in the second half. So maybe the Niners shouldn't trade Kyle Shanahan if they miss the playoffs, but it's going to be a very bitter offseason if they find a way to lose and miss the playoffs.
I'm going to go slightly different direction. The only reason I'm going to change it up is, so if you lose with Jimmy, first of all, I think that's very poetic. Like, just lose the season with Jimmy Garoppolo. That's perfect. But that guy's not coming back next year. With Trey Lance, if he plays and they lose, regardless of how it happens, the way that I see it is, 49er fans at this point, after seeing him versus the Texans, now you get to see him against the Rams. You saw him improve from the Arizona game. At the very least, that gives them that something to hold on to going into next year. Because if he had just played against Arizona, Grant, and they had not made the playoffs, people would freak out in the offseason. You know how many we picked the wrong guy, they traded to all offseason. That's what it would be. Now they've seen that the kid can play. They've seen that he is the right pick, at least now at 3. I feel like that gives the fan base enough to feel good about it. But if you go back to Jimmy and you lose, if you go back to Jimmy, you better win. Otherwise, it is a wasted season. And all that talk we talked about of Shanahan getting traded, you should fire Lynch or they will fire Lynch. All of that opens back up, in my opinion. It really does. Now, I don't think Shanahan's going anywhere. I still see a scenario where Lynch doesn't come back next year, at least not as the team GM.
Everything you're saying to me is a silver lining, not justification. It's a silver lining. That's the way I see it. If they lose, it's a huge wasted season. I mean, like, you saw something you liked from Trey Lance. Great. He should have been there earlier. He should have played earlier. There's no way that you should have missed the playoffs here. I'm sorry.
I feel it. And again, I said this about 5 games into the season, 6 games, whenever they were 2 and 4. I said, if the 49ers don't make the playoffs and they don't play Trey Lance, it is a wasted season. For me, 3 games, just because the final 2 were by Trey Lance, I'm willing to let it slide. I'll let bygones be bygones.
Yeah.
Grant won't.
Yeah. It's just unfair to him. It's unfair.
It is unfair.
You told him all year that he wasn't ready, and now you're like, hey, man, we got no options. We need you to win this game for us. And if they lose, it's his fault. It's not his fault. It's Kyle's fault. They were unprepared for this entire moment. They are. And that's why they're like, hey, Jimmy, what do you think? Can you do it? What do you think? Can you do it? What do you think? Because they put all their eggs in his basket. And he's like, I mean, it fucking hurts. That's my 10th F-bomb. Sorry. But he's like, I'm trying. But it like, I have a torn ligament in my throwing thumb. That is a 4 to 6 week injury. I'm trying to speed things up. But what do you really expect? What do you want me to do? What am I supposed to do? You know, like what, perform magic? What am I got? But the Niners like, I mean, well, we didn't. It's just that we like Trey, but we just don't believe in him. We haven't prepared him. It's our fault. So,
yeah, you're right about that. And it is everything that has happened to this point. Shanahan getting irritated with the questioning, who's going to play, why they're here, all of it falls on Shanahan's shoulders.
Here's the point that I wanted to make. I forgot. So is it a wasted season? Hold on, let me get in focus so I can get this right. It is for Trent Williams, who's my age. Get it here. There you go. It is for George Kittle, who's coming up on 30. You know, it is for Nick Bosa, who's coming to the end of his rookie contract. It is this is an old team. It's a wasted season for a lot of players. Not for Trey. I mean, maybe. But like, I think it is in a lot of ways. Anyway.
Tart, Ward, it's a wasted season for them, especially Tart. He may not be back now.
Tart and Ward, a good point. Eric Armstead. These are all guys who are almost 30 or beyond 30.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah.
They wanted to win this year. That's why Jimmy was supposed to play, right?
That's the whole reason. It's the whole reason. Exactly. Gabriel Reyes says maybe the NFL should flex this game to Monday like they flexed the other teams' thoughts.
Not before the playoffs. They're not going to be able to. Because the 49ers might have to turn around and play on Saturday in Tampa.
Good point. Kyle is going to use Matt Ryan's call sheet. Jeez. Maybe for the play action. When is your Cohn phone scheduled? I keep missing my chance to call in and express my raw emotions. Love you, Smack Jones. It's usually like 10 a.m. on Saturday, but I'm going to be in LA, and I think this Saturday I'm going to do like a mid-afternoon Cohn phone because I'm trying to like my wife's out there with me, and every time I don't get out, we don't like get out until like 1 p.m. and then like the sun goes down at 3. So we're trying to maybe like a mid-afternoon. Anyway, Smack, I'll let you know.
Hey, Smack Jones. Just as a teaser to hold you over, telephone phone.
There you go.
I'm doing a call-in show right after this. So
there you go. Tobin Ernst says, better get our S together, Harbaugh to Seahawks. How about this, though? Instead of Harbaugh to Seahawks, Harbaugh to Arizona. Because look, Cliff Kingsbury is awful. That team is stacked, and he can't get it together. If they lose their first playoff game, fire that fool. Bring in Harbaugh. Have Harbaugh, Pete Carroll, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan in the same division. What do you think about that, though?
I want no part of Harbaugh, and there's a lot of 49er fans that cannot stand Harbaugh and think he's overrated. Okay, all right, let him in the division. See what happens. He's a good coach.
Yup. If we do not make the playoffs with Jimmy or Trey, somebody's getting fired. By John, expecting to have Trey save Kyle's season equals a wasted season for sure. Yes, it's not fair to Trey. Now you got to save the season? Oh, I thought I wasn't ready. Oh, you told me I wasn't ready? I was over here busting my ass, but you said I wasn't ready, but now I got to save your season? That's funny. Funny how things change. King Logan says if Jimmy starts and stinks it up and loses, won't guys in the locker room look at Shanahan differently and trust him less, especially this is what they wanted. Don't look at Kyle. This is what you wanted. Kyle was over here trying to bargain with you, be like, could we play both? How about both? They're like, no. We like Jimmy. Jimmy's our guy. All right, well, go down with Jimmy then. Am I wrong?
I think they did want Jimmy. I think
the offense won. I think Kittle, McGlinchey, dudes like that.
I still think some of the younger guys like Debo and Ayuk really want to trade.
I do too. But those dudes didn't have the standing. Kittle.
They don't have the cachet.
All right. What would the benefit be of the 49ers starting Jimmy Garoppolo, who already admitted he will not be 100% if he plays?
So I'm just trying to look at this from Kyle Shanahan's standpoint. And when I broke down the film on Monday, what I saw was Trey Lance missing a lot of timing routes. I saw him miss Kittle on a slant. I saw him miss Kittle.
Especially first half for sure.
First half, yep. A couple times, yeah. So, and the crazy thing is those plays actually resulted better because of what Trey did.
I remember, I was watching with Jack yesterday. Like, remember, backed up on their goal line, he had the slant to a left. He had Kittle and Debo. He didn't throw to either one. Both were open, and he scrambles and hits Ayuk for a first down.
Yes.
And it's like, nice. But from Kyle's perspective, he's like, dude, you need to hit that. You need to hit that. It's open. I schemed it. Jimmy hits that. And then first throw of the 38-second drive at the end of the first half, Debo on the slant. He did it.
Yep.
He did it.
Yep.
Yeah.
He had the other one too, where he had the boot and Kittle was leaking out, and he had, I think he hit Sherfield, and then he had Ayuk over the top.
Yes.
So that was another one. So those are plays that I look at and I go, okay, it's Kyle Shanahan. He's talking to him in the film room and saying, listen, I love the result, but more often than not, the result's not going to be there by doing what you did. This is what you need to do. That is open in the NFL. Make that decision quicker.
Yeah.
So he likes Jimmy for that. And I've said it before, Jimmy will make throws that Trey can't because right now, mentally, in this offense, he's been in it for 5 years. Trey will make throws that Jimmy can't because Jimmy's physically limited. So it's a give and it's a take. I think Shanahan would prefer, well, we know he would prefer Jimmy Garoppolo. He's proving that every chance he gets. So he prefers Jimmy, and that's the reason why he prefers him. He knows what he's going to get play in and play out from Jimmy. He knows his limitations, but he knows he's going to be on time with the offense.
Yeah, it is. There's no unknown there. I think there's two big things. I mean, it's not that he trusts Jimmy so much as Jimmy's the vet. And like Kyle and his dad are old school. It's a playoff game. Like if the Saints lose and the Niners can make the playoffs by losing 2, maybe they sit Jimmy Garoppolo just to give him another week to heal. But if the Saints win, this is a playoff game. And I mean, essentially NFL coaches don't want rookie quarterbacks starting playoff games. They don't, right?
Yeah.
They don't. So that right there is reason enough to start Jimmy Garoppolo. He's won 2 playoff games, even though he wasn't really a focal point in either one. The other reason is what I mentioned earlier. Like Trey Lance is unprepared for this. It's unfair to ask him to come in week 18 and save the season after you told him for 4 months that he wasn't ready for anything. You weren't ready for October football. You weren't ready to come in at the end of a Jacksonville Jaguars game and actually do anything until the very end. You weren't ready to play against the Falcons in a blowout. but now you got to beat the Rams. It's unfair. And while I think he can do it, and while I think he may play, it's essentially unfair. So that's another reason, another benefit of playing Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, you prepared him for this. You gave him all the first team reps in camp. You gave him all the first team reps throughout the season, and you paid him $100 million. He should be prepared for this freaking moment.
You paid him the Mac Jones drunk in the bar money.
Yeah.
100 mil, baby.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. He should be ready.
Should be ready for this. And you didn't make him split reps with Trey Lance. You didn't put anything in his way to impede him. Like, everything he needed has been set up for him to succeed. Do it, dude. Do it. Only problem is that he's hurt. So anyway, I think we laid it out. Those are the benefits. Did we miss anything? I don't think we missed anything.
I don't think so.
That's it.
Not that I can think of.
District 13 says Trey's arm matches up well against top quarterbacks.
Oh, yes. Yeah, of course.
And I like that. Eddie Marcos 916 says still saying fire overhyped Kyle. He's no leader. Well, let's see what he does this week. It's a big week for him. Big week.
I still question his ability.
Look with him. I like the whole idea of the Trey Lance, Kyle Shanahan play action attack, but maybe I'm just becoming a Shanistan. I don't know.
Because I'm definitely not becoming a Shanistan.
As soon as I saw it in the second half, I'm like, okay, that's okay. All right. Maybe you two could make some magic together. The Hyphy ambassador. Wow. There needs to be an ambassador for Hyphy, which died about 14 years ago. Anyway, bringing it back. Grant, I rock with you, bro. You deliver news the best. Thank you. Thank you. You deliver Hyphy the best to the rest of the world. NorCal Trocas says Jimmy Garoppolo is irrelevant. Let's play Trey Lance. I rather have a rookie make mistakes than a vet make rookie mistakes. With Trey Lance, I don't care if we lose to the Lambs. You say that now. Whoever loses this game is going to get some wrath. The wrath of the faithful who are not so faithful. Cam Akers, my play Sunday. No way he starts. What can you expect from a dude who's coming off a torn Achilles?
Yeah, 6 months removed.
Saw two huge anticipation passes yesterday, Grant. I saw more than that.
Yeah, me too.
There was the slant to Debo, the slant to Ayuk, the seam to Kittle, and the out to Jennings. All four were really freaking nice.
Well, and the one in
North Dakota State.
The one right before the end of the half where he didn't complete it to Ayuk, the deep one in the corner of the end zone. I mean, that's about as good as it could be.
And when you slowed it down, they really showed that Ayuk's left arm got totally held, Do you think Jim and Kittle cuddle each other at night and say mean things about Trey and Kyle? True Sav comedy. You got me every time. That was a good joke. Probably. No matter how bad Jimmy has played, I never once thought he wasn't trying his best to win. He really is a good dude. Sucks that he isn't better. Yeah, I agree. I like Jimmy.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, he's trying to win.
And I think he's trying to come back from this injury. I do.
Yeah.
He's trying to be transparent. Like, it's not going to be easy, but I'm doing my best. Because the Niners are really not doing him any favors. They're like, yeah, I think he can come back. Oh, thank you.
I think if it's fully up to Jimmy, he knows that he can't do it, but they're pressing him. They're pressing him.
I don't think he's going to shut himself down this week. I think it's going to be a legit decision for Kyle. Bay Area Niners says if the secondary is going to be this decimated, that would be the only reason to start Garoppolo. We would need long, boring drives to keep the score low. That's a legit point.
That is a legit point. Yep. That is a very legit
and that's another benefit of playing Jimmy Garoppolo.
True.
The long, methodical, boring drives are part of the formula for success against the Rams, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It is.
You're right.
Yeah. So good call, Bay Area Niners. Jimmy also hits wide open linebackers too. So that's true. And although he's undefeated against the Rams, I think he's thrown 10 touchdown passes and committed 6 turnovers. So it's not necessarily him. I'm saying.
Well, Trey did learn one thing from sitting on the bench because he tried to hit that linebacker just like Jimmy does. Like, listen, this is what Jimmy taught me. Middle of the game, I'm going to the Texans linebacker. I see him.
NorCal Trocas again says Trey Lance is exciting to watch. Jimmy Garoppolo is boring and sucks. And he sucks. Wow. It's not just enough to be boring. That's rough. No, it's not that he's not boring. I want to say he doesn't suck. He's boring and mediocre. And in professional sports, That's bad. You can't be boring and mediocre in professional sports. You just can't. You could be exciting and mediocre. You could be young and mediocre. You could be promising and mediocre. But if you're boring and mediocre, it's unacceptable. I'm sorry.
But what if you're good looking and mediocre?
It's still boring. I don't know.
I'm just saying,
if our running game is stopped, Jimmy can't win. Yeah, it's true.
I don't know if either of these guys can win. That was kind of our point earlier, right?
Ken Bone says, "Hey guys, everyone is hoping or expecting Kyle to make the right decision when he continues to show us he can't. Fire Kyle." Yeah, that's the problem. He's going to make the wrong decision this week. We'll see. Grant, if you could rank the top 3 seasons you've covered the Niners, what would they be? The Cap Neal season, Super Bowl this year. This is by far the best season. I love this freaking season. I love it. Love it. By far. 2012, when they went from Alex Smith to Colin Kaepernick, was great too. These are the 2 best, I would have to say.
2019, no?
Pretty cool. 19 was pretty cool too. I got to go to Miami and cover. Those are the 3. Boom. 12, 19, 21. Boom. How Kyle has been acting, percentage Trey plays in the playoffs if Trey starts and beats LA. Oh, if he starts and beats LA, he needs to keep playing. Are you kidding?
Oh, yeah.
He needs to. Although Kyle, he'll find a way to not do that. No, Jimmy sucks. Can't stay healthy. It's time for Lance. Lots of exclamation points. Fair. Okay.
And all capital.
Jimmy Garoppolo makes throws that 5 cannot. But what does Kyle expect? He cashed in all his hopes of playoffs with Jimmy while keeping Trey on the sidelines. No benefits to playing Jimmy Garoppolo. He's done. The thing about Jimmy is I'm not sure he makes throws that Trey can't. The interception that Trey threw, Jimmy could put a little more touch on that, I guess, but that was just probably shouldn't have thrown that pass. I feel like you saw Trey hit those slants multiple times. You saw him hit that out route to Jennings on 3rd down. Like, those were Jimmy throws. He hit them. I don't know.
He makes decisions that Trey can't right now, but he doesn't physically make throws that Trey can't.
Regardless who was quarterback, if Mitchell plays, we're good. Yeah, which is why his not practicing today is alarming. Trey's the kryptonite to Pat Mahomes. I don't know about that.
Yeah, but Pat Mahomes pretty good.
They don't play each other. I really don't think Kittle hates on Trey. Did you see him mic'd up? Also, the spreadsheet took a lot of shots at Lance Lever's spreadsheet equals tool. No, I don't think. I just feel like, look, I didn't play football, but I think like football is very much of like a conservative. We'll have to see what the young guy has when he shows us. Trey hasn't proven it in a real game yet, and he came from Division I AA or whatever. He's proven it now, and I think the coaching staff, the players look at him like, okay.
Bless you.
Without sneezing. They're like, okay, you're illegit. I think that's what Kittle was expressing. Like, you did it, dude. You actually just passed the test. You're like Neo. You just jumped over. You did it, man. Like, congratulations. It's a big deal. We all saw the talent, but now you've actually made it translate, and we're going to have a future together. I think that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, I don't think you would have been so excited if Trey was playing like trash.
No, that wasn't just to be a leader and boost him up. That was like oh, wow. You really did it. Congratulations. Congratulations. Who's getting fired if the Niners lose on Sunday and miss the playoffs?
If anybody, it's Lynch.
Let's start with the quarterback coach. Then we'll move over to Ben Peterson, the trainer. Those 2 guys are gone. Those are two. And then you could go further than that. It could be Lynch as well. Could be Lynch. Although firing a guy who just got inducted in the Hall of Fame, maybe you reassign him. Maybe he retires. Maybe he gracefully parts. I don't know. But yeah, there's going to be big major changes. And again, I think what happens is Kyle gets a boss, essentially. This has been your team, not anymore. Now you got a boss. Now he picks the player. Now he tells you what you need. And I think that'll be a very strange dynamic. Grant sits down to pee, says Ricky Bobby. Thanks, Ricky.
You just paid him $2. So
thanks, Ricky.
Interesting.
Hey, Grant, this is off topic, but we need a Jimmy Ward interview ASAP. You can ask him the questions that no one else will answer. Well, I got him last. Maybe next year. Give him some time. He was very generous. I got to get some other players. Jimmy Ward has been a very generous player to the channel. What is it?
I want to see Tart.
Yeah, I want to see Tart.
The one.
Too. Let me see if I can get Tart this offseason. What is it going to take to hire an overseer? Overseer what? Of the channel? What does that mean?
No, of Shanahan, I think.
Losing tomorrow. I mean Sunday, not tomorrow. Okay, so we just broke down the benefit of playing Jimmy Garoppolo against the Rams. What is the benefit of playing Trey Lance against the Rams?
You have the element of surprise. That would be one. They're not used to seeing Trey. They're not used to seeing the 49ers with a mobile quarterback, period. So you have that. And then I think you have the benefit of opening up the playbook a little bit. Last week, I feel like the playbook was vanilla by design to get Trey going, just get him used to playing, and they knew they would beat the Texans regardless. This week, you got to empty that baby up. You got to do whatever you can. He helps the run game. He should help the run game, right? It's 11-on-11 football. So open up the playbook, helps the run game, element of surprise. Those are the three reasons.
I have one reason. The biggest reason, the biggest benefit to playing Trey Lance against the Rams. He's the 49ers' best quarterback. And he's healthy. Those are the two reasons. He's the 49ers' best quarterback, and he's their healthiest quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo is freaking hurt. You don't believe me? Ask him. He'll tell you. He'll say it really hurts, and I can't throw the ball the way I normally do. I saw him throw the ball today. He was okay. He threw a bunch of short passes, but you saw him in Tennessee trying to play through this injury. It was awful. He can't throw the ball down the field accurately with this injury. So if he were to play, it would be a bunch of short passes and handoffs. And the Rams would know it. Everyone would know it. So with Lance, you at least would have a complete skill set. You'd have a guy who could throw the ball more than 10, 15 yards down the field. That would help. That would help. I mean, if Jimmy Garoppolo were 100% healthy, great. You're undefeated against the Rams. I get why the Niners would trust you, but he ain't. And it's a defined injury. It's a torn ligament. At this point, the best he can do is throw short passes. So I even think when he's healthy, Lance is the best quarterback on the team. So that's why I think this is a benefit of playing Lance, but dude isn't even healthy. So I think you're for sure playing the quarterback who gives you the best chance to win. That's the benefit.
Maybe. Do you remember the movie Rookie of the Year? Early 90s baseball movie?
Yes, absolutely.
Kid hurts his shoulder and all of a sudden he can fire it. Maybe that's what happens to Jimmy. Maybe his thumb injury means he can throw deep, Grant.
Well,
you never know.
What happens at the end of the movie? He loses his powers and he has to throw it underhand.
That's true.
But he wins somehow anyway. But that's against the rules. You can't throw underhand. That always killed me in that movie. Who was that dude? It was the dude from Karate Kid, right? No. It was the dude from... Who was that dude? Rookie of the Year. Am I tripping?
It was... What's his name? It was... Hold on. I got it. Henry... No. Thomas Ian something? I don't know.
Oh, well. Well, good movie.
It was a great movie. If you've never seen it, Henry Rowan Gardner was the main character's name. That's what it was.
Hold on. Rookie of the Year. 1993.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the dude from... It's that dude. Was he from... Was he in Sandlot? Thomas Ian Nichols. What else was he in?
Was it Sandlot? He does look super familiar. I can't figure it out.
Rookie of the Year. Oh, American Pie! He was Kevin in American Pie.
He is Kevin in American Pie. Oh my God, I never knew that. That's crazy. I never knew that. That's so funny.
Lance hit Sanders in the fourth of the Super Bowl? Probably. Yes, I would have to say yes. Did the Niners dodge a bullet in getting beaten to Stafford? It seems like a more talented version of Jimmy G, but with a same haywire. Yes, I think so. Don't say it to Vish. Yes, but I would rather have Lance than Matthew Stafford. Yes.
Yeah, I would too. listen, Stafford's a good player, top 10 to 12 quarterback. He can make all the throws as well. He's extremely gifted. But I said in the beginning of the season that guy's never won anything. Until you've won something, you have to prove it to me. And I'm not saying Vish says this all the time, and I agree with him. Wins are not a quarterback stat. However, if you are that good of a player, at some point this far into your career, you have to have a playoff win. Just one. Just one if you're that good. You're worth a playoff win, and he doesn't.
Right. We were talking about like, oh, we don't know how Trey's gonna be. He's never been in a big game like this. Has freaking Stafford been in a big game? Like what? His season's always over in November. Oh, by the time you see him or you saw him in Thanksgiving game, their season was over every time. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see.
He just recently had a streak of 5 interceptions in 51 attempts.
Even if Jimmy G starts, I think Trey still gets rotated in like the Raiders preseason game. I believe that game will be the game plan. Oh, week 18, they go to the 2 quarterback system. Oh, that would be great. I hope something's totally outlandish like that happens. Kevin from American Pie, we got there. Thank you. Thank you. If you believe in Ayuk and our wide receivers, play Lance. Well, tell it to Kyle. Jimmy blasting Dido's white flag all week, and he's trying to drag us with him. I don't know.
But he did it last week too, right? Even up until Friday. Well, he's doubtful, but we're gonna try him out Saturday. Yeah, they want the Rams to prepare for 2 quarterbacks. They do.
Speaking of such, the Niners have made it clear they don't want to name this, that they're in a tough situation. They have to choose between the injured vet and the unprepared rookie. And it's not an ideal situation, so they're not going to let the Rams know which way they're leaning. And it seems to be, the best you can do, right? I mean, it's a no-brainer decision to not name it a starter.
Yeah, you have no reason to, but I think there's a flip side of this though too. Now, if the team knows, no big deal. But if the team doesn't know, or you genuinely don't know who the starter is, I think that could cause as many issues as it could win you the benefit of the doubt in hiding the starter, right? Because you've got to prepare 2 guys. You've got to prepare the team for 2 guys. I feel like it could cause as much harm if the team genuinely doesn't know and you genuinely don't know as it does benefit. So I think there's 2 sides to this coin that maybe we weren't really thinking about when we came up with the topic.
Well, I think it's hard to say you can't name Jimmy the starter today. If you want Jimmy to be the starter, you can't name him today. You have to see where he's at. Yeah. And they could name Trey the starter today, but they clearly don't want to. I mean, they've been very hesitant with that all year. So let's just assume they continue to want Jimmy to be the starter. They can't do that today. So they have to let it kind of play out and see how he feels the day of the game and make a decision that day. So I guess it's like all you can, from their perspective, it's the prudent move. And the benefit is that you keep the Rams in the dark. I guess that's the benefit of not naming a starter.
Yeah, no, like I said, there's definitely a benefit for keeping the Rams on their heels. I think that that's the best move for them, but I just think that there's the flip side of that coin is what are you doing to prepare both guys? Because if you genuinely don't have an answer, and I believe that they don't, they have a preference, they don't have an answer yet. They don't know how Jimmy's thumb's going to react Sunday morning. What if he wakes up and it's stiff and okay, now plans are out the window. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
there's just really no way of knowing. So it's hard to prepare 2 quarterbacks. And I also think that might be why they were a little bit vanilla last week, is because they were trying to prepare Lance, but also hoping that Jimmy could play. And so it was just a vanilla playbook and goes back to not preparing the rookie.
Yeah. So I think the Niners feel like they're probably underdogs for a reason. They're in a tough spot and they're trying to find some type of an edge. So not naming a starter is that edge. But really it's like a Hail Mary because I don't know if it's going to be enough. So let's talk about their decision. Which quarterback do you think they will start this Sunday?
Well, yesterday and even earlier today, I tweeted, I don't think that there's any chance that it's not Trey Lance, but seeing Jimmy throw, I mean, they're going to do everything they can. If he's able to throw it all, I just think that they're rolling with Jimmy. I think that that's what Shanahan wants to do. I know that that's what Shanahan wants to do. So if that's the case, he's stubborn. He's going to do what he can. They're going to do what they can medically wise to get him ready, numb it, whatever they got to do. They're going to roll him out there on Sunday. Unless, like I said, he wakes up on Sunday, thumb is super stiff. He just really can't grip the ball and can't play. I think Jimmy's playing. I really do.
You think Jimmy's playing? Wow. I think Trey's going to play. I think what they're doing is saying, we want to keep the Rams in the dark. And Jimmy, you owe it to us to practice this week. You have to. You can physically practice this week and help us keep the Rams in the dark. But when they get to Sunday, I think they're going to realize that, one, Jimmy Garoppolo isn't close to 100%, and he really can't be trusted to throw the ball more than maybe 10 yards down the field. And that, two, he really hasn't practiced. I mean, he was a limited participant in practice today, but that means he warmed up. I mean, Kyle himself said he's not going to get many, if any, of the reps in 11 on 11s. So he's going to be rusty as well as less than 100%. I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can throw him out there. I don't think he gives you the best chance to win. I think the Niners understand that. What they're going to get, I think this is all a smokescreen. And what they're doing is preparing Trey Lance to start this game. I think I'm not at this part of practice where they do the 11 on 11s, but I think Trey Lance is getting the reps.
I could see a situation where genuinely they play Jimmy, they get a series in, and Jimmy just comes out and it's like, Coach, I can't do it. I can't. And then Trey plays, right? Like that seems very realistic to me. Yeah. It really does.
Also, there is the wrinkle of the Saints game. Let's say the Saints lose. We don't expect them to, but let's say the Saints lose.
True.
You don't have to play Jimmy. All of a sudden, it's not a playoff game. And you can say, boom, another opportunity to rest our injured quarterback and give our future some reps. Great opportunity, right? Great opportunity. But if the Saints win, I can see Kyle sort of puckering up a little bit and being, I'm going to go with the vet, even though he can't throw downfield, because we've won with Jimmy really just throwing shovel passes against this team. Maybe I can see Kyle doing that. So I'm going to say it's going to be Trey. I think it's going to be Trey because I just don't think that – I don't think Jimmy's healthy enough. I don't think he is. And I think this is all a smokescreen. I do. We'll see.
I hope you're right. Eric Davis tweeted out before we started the show that he would roll with 75% Jimmy because it means 100% of Kyle's playbook. And I just disagree with that. I think that's a bad decision.
It doesn't mean 100% of Kyle's playbook because, again, what's happening here is you can't throw the ball down the field. Like, I don't think you can throw the ball more than 10 yards down the field. That's a problem. And I think I'd rather have the inexperienced guy who can who can stretch the entire field than the guy who's limited to short passes.
I agree. I'm with you. I think they should play Trey. I have my reserves.
The fact that he's limited and they said that Trey's basically going to get all the reps in practice, I don't know. We'll see. I think I think he's prepared for Trey. And well, we can talk about it next, but I don't know if he's going to win. We'll see. Yeah. 2-quarterback system. Let's go.
No.
Well,
I think that's the worst decision they can make right now. Out of all, like, if it's option A or B and they go with C, like, I'm not with it.
And they lose, yeah.
Yeah.
We averaged 10.3 yards a play with Lance, and we're going deep, something we haven't seen in multiple years. Limpy G is holding us back. Cut this bump. It's fair to point out, though, that the Texans are not the Rams. And this is a big test for a guy in his third career start. It's really unfair. I really keep going back to that. Third career start, week 18 against the Rams. Man, the Niners should have done more to prepare him for this because you hope for the best and prepare for the worst. They're not prepared for the worst. This is the worst. This is the worst. This is it.
Yep.
District 13 says Lance features Ayuk and makes Debo and Kittle unstoppable. Jimmy can't find Ayuk, and we need a strong Ayuk versus the Rams. I agree. I do agree. Hey, Grant, can we get another Jimmy Patton the ball invitation? That shit was hilarious. I got to do that shit. I got to do that like on. All right, fine. I don't want to see that anymore in a Niners uniform. So
I made a GIF of it on Twitter. Go check it out.
You did. That was great. To be honest, Niners probably lose either way. Rams will be out for blood. We took their lunch money. Still way better to lose with Lance than ugly Jimmy Garoppolo linebacker. INTs. Yup. That's the rub. Saints and Niners play at the same time. Am I tripping? Do they?
You're not the first person that said that, but I swear when I looked at the schedule, they play at the same time as well. Saints schedule, I'll look it up right now. They play at 4:25 Eastern. Yeah, same time.
Sucks. Damn.
So they have no clue.
Forget everything I just said. Damn. Let's just do that bit again. Oh,
but you're not the only one that said that either. A lot of people have been saying, "Oh, they'll know before."
I thought they were. Did they switch that? I could have sworn it was a 10 o'clock game. Damn, I could have sworn it was a 10 o'clock game.
That's what. And it's an two East Coast teams, so you would think that they would have. Saints Falcons game time. I'll check that.
No, it's right here. I definitely see it. It's 4:25. It's exact same time.
Yeah.
Maybe they did that to like have some intrigue. I don't know. Wow, my bad. Sorry, NorCal. Thank you for setting me straight on that one. Well, that's the last 10 minutes are useless. My bad. If Jimmy plays and struggles like he did against the Titans, Kyle needs to be the head coach for once and put his big boy pants on and pull Jimmy out. Yeah, big boy pants. Oops.
Put those big boy pants on.
Did you see Chris Sims say that Trey is less prone to turnovers because he throws all over the field and Jimmy passes are in the middle of the field? Yes, it's a good point. He doesn't throw into traffic like Jimmy does.
Yeah.
Jimmy throws into traffic. Trey throws to one-on-one matchups down the field. Do you think ownership has a preference over Jimmy or Trey? Also, is the emergence of Elijah Mitchell over Raheem make Raheem expendable? Mitchell is cheaper. Have them both. They're both cheap. I saw York and the dad and the son talking to Kyle today at practice. What do you think they were talking about?
Really?
Oh yeah, I put the video up on my channel. The dad and the son, both Yorks, talking to Kyle at practice. What was that about?
Maybe they're trying to reinvigorate magic. Didn't they do it before the Rams game last time?
Possible.
Superstition. Possible.
I say we start Jimmy so he can let us down one last time like he did in the Super Bowl. Yeah, that's basically what I want to see. But I like chaos. So I'm
remember last week when we talked about how Jimmy will be remembered, and somebody had a really good comment. They're like, the Super Bowl pass.
Yeah, that's it.
He loses this. It might. Yeah.
Margarine says, how much of trying to pay James Jed trying to get max return on his $90 million? Also, great to catch you live for once in a blue moon from Hong Kong.
Nice.
How much of trying to play James? Yeah, I think the Niners did that last year with Jerick McKinnon. Like, you need to play 16 games. We've given you a lot of money. Get your ass on that field and play. I think there's
so too. Yeah.
Yeah. Albino Lizard says Jimmy won't have surgery till the end of the season. Tells you everything you need to know about who will start Sunday. What does it say?
Well, I think he's saying that because he's going to hold off for surgery, they're trying to start him. Yeah. I mean, obviously, if he has surgery, you can't start him. So,
all right, predict which team will win this game.
Okay, so going with the Rams. I just here's the thing. We talked about Elijah Mitchell and how important he is. The running game, regardless of the quarterback, is going to be what decides this game, I believe, for the 49ers, whether they win or lose. And going out there with a game plan to run the ball 40 times again is going to be tough to replicate. No option is good. You've got a rookie quarterback in your third start who I love and I think is the future and is going to be extremely good. But right now, he's a rookie in his third start. And option B is an injured, already limited Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
It's not good. To me, I know that Stafford hasn't proven big games.
Not to mention the entire secondary can't practice this week. That is just
brutal. Brutal.
Rough.
So I don't see the Rams going out there and letting the 49ers bully them again. I think they know what's coming. I think Aaron Donald is tired of the whole Debo thing. And I think that they win a close one. I'm going to go 24-21 Rams.
24.
Season's over for the Niners.
21-17 Rams. Yeah, that's the way I see it. Which is rough because the Niners have their number. The Niners are really good. If they miss the playoffs, they'll be the most talented team to miss the playoffs. But I think they got some bad luck right now.
Yep.
They put all their eggs in the Jimmy Garoppolo basket. He's hurt again. They didn't adequately prepare their highly talented rookie for this moment. Not his fault. He did great against the Texans. But what do we really expect him to do in a must-win game against the Rams? It's not fair to ask him to save the season. And if he doesn't, it's not really any comment on what he can or can't be in the future. And then again, like, I don't think the Niners are going to lose because of their quarterback position. I think either one who plays, Jimmy and his short passes, Trey and his inexperience, they'll both be fine. I think the reason the Niners will probably lose is because they wore out Elijah Mitchell this year, and they don't have cornerbacks. Those will be probably their and their special teams is awful, freaking terrible. Those will be the reasons the Niners lose. Yeah.
Yeah, again, like, I know this is a big game for the Rams, but this isn't do or die for them. I don't think that this is a game, if Stafford were to clam up, that this would be it. I really don't.
Yeah. If Kyle plays a not healthy Jimmy, that proves he's only good for making bad choices. Stafford is not proven in the playoffs. Also, Nick Mullins beat LA. True. I agree. This is a big test of Kyle. Make the right decision here, because I would play Trey, and I'm quality control, and I'm telling you what to do. So listen, pay attention.
You have no choice.
Yeah. I don't get how Limpy G lovers are quick to call us bandwagoners for wanting him out, but yet they hope that a rookie, the future of this team, fails.
I'm with you.
It's kind of strange. Yeah. I don't know. Hard to say.
Hard to say.
Hard to say. Anyway, thanks very much, everyone, for watching. We think the Niners are going to lose this game, but I'd be happy to be wrong. And if the Niners, I don't know what to say. If Elijah Mitchell plays, they could win. So we'll see. Maybe we'll practice tomorrow. Maybe I'll revise my prediction by Friday. I got time. It's Wednesday night.
And maybe all the corners are healthy, and who knows? But right now it's not looking good in the biggest game of the season. Win or go home situation for the most part. It's rough. I just shared the link in the private chat. If you could throw it out, that'd be dope. Whoa, hey, thanks, bud.
I reserve the right to revise my prediction, but right now Wayne Jr. says, "Fuck y'all." I respect that. I understand that. Sorry.
I love it. I respect it. Thanks, Wayne. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no. So where is this? Where's the link? Show me the link.
Private chat.
Copy. Boom. Is it there?
Boom. Call in show. 2 minutes. Be there. Or be square. Or whatever.
All right, y'all. Thanks for watching. Sorry for picking the Rams. I hope something changes in the next couple of days that changes my mind on this one. Niners are in a tough spot. See you guys tomorrow.
Just being honest.